communication involves vulnerability. Okay. There's 6 layers of emotion. Okay. And when you get through all of it and you want to express your total truth, you have to be able to come down from any anger, any angst, any fear, and get down to what you really love and appreciate and what you really need. Communicate your needs. If you don't know how to effectively communicate your needs, you are not ready for marriage, because what we need changes over time. There's 5 seasons of marriage. Okay. And so if you go into it thinking that what you're going to do in the honeymoon stage is going to work later on in the reciprocity stage, then you're going to have a problem. It's not the same thing. So as you navigate these different seasons of life, you need to be able to communicate the changes you're going through, the perspectives that have shifted. You might have loved barbecue when you first started dating, and now you don't want to eat meat no more. And that's cool, right? But we need to be able to check in. We also need to be able to share regularly about the small things in life. Sometimes we only want to talk about the big things, and that's how we can grow apart. Now, I want to know, I need to know what my husband ate today.
Yes.
What's happening, good people? Welcome to another episode of Romance in Real Estate. So, this is the place where we
help you level up in life, love,
and money.
Yes, honey.
Let's do it. So, if you've been following us, man, they off the hook. So, I've discovered that I need to make sure that my insurance is clear. I gotta go home and ask some questions. Yes. And I gotta do a little bit more deeper diving into my self-esteem and all kind of stuff. Yes. But this ain't about me. Today's episode is about basically discovering if you're prepared for marriage.
That's right.
All right, so we're gonna talk about it. Let's go. So how do you identify if a person is not ready for marriage?
Oh my goodness. We have like a whole session on this. Right. It's nearly 2 hours, but we're going to run it real quick. At least maybe like the top 3 to 5 reasons. We'll see how many we get through. As the queen of wife coaching, I deal with this quite often. Okay. Individuals who think they're ready to be married, and then by the time they're done with us, they're like, maybe not.
Like,
maybe
I'm good.
Not. But you know why? They don't understand the assignment. It's an assignment. Marriage is an assignment. It's not just a title that you get to walk around with. You don't just put the jewelry on and just be good. No, if you're someone's wife, specifically, that's what I would speak to. You are someone's rib, their helpmeet. You enter into a covenant with them. Okay? And a lot of people don't understand what a covenant is. I know that you do. However, when you enter into a contract, when you buy a home, right? There's terms and conditions.
No doubt.
Yes, indeed. You need to go over all of that. You need to make sure any concessions are identified up front, correct?
No doubt.
If you aren't familiar with having to hold to terms and conditions, you're not ready for marriage, because there's a marriage covenant. Okay, between the man, the wife, and God. And so you have to hold to that covenant, even if you don't really like each other no more. Just like you have to follow out the terms of the contract, even if you have a bad day at work, even if you find a car and you think you want to buy that instead. No matter what, these are the terms of the contract. We finna execute in accordance to these terms, or there's no deal. Right? When you say, I want to be someone's wife, you understand that you are there, thick and thin, come what may. And many of us try to go into marriage and say, well, as long as he don't do this, we good. As long as she don't do that, we good. That's not marriage. No, that's not marriage. Marriage is till death. Die.
So question.
Yes.
You've been divorced once.
Absolutely.
What allowed you to exit that contract?
Woo! Now that's really a conversation. But when you look in scripture, if your partner is not a believer and does not wish to be married to you any longer, you are called to live in peace. You don't have to hold them.
Fair enough.
So fair enough. I did not pre-qualify my ex-husband. I did not really have a strong sense of self-love. I didn't really understand who I was. I was doing what I thought that I should do. And that didn't last very long at all. And he was just no longer with it. He was just like, honestly, it was good. It sounded good, but I really wasn't ready for this. And I can't be wasting your time like this. I don't want this. So that's how I was divorced, right?
Understood.
So, and that's a really great question, because otherwise I wouldn't have, because as my faith, I don't believe that's my right. I made a promise to God.
Right.
I made a promise. I didn't just make a promise to him. I made a promise to God. So one of the reasons, if you don't feel like you're going to be able to uphold that covenant, you don't need to get married. You're not ready to be married, because marriage is an agreement. It's a team building. It's a unity. It's an assignment, and you have to fulfill it even when you don't feel like it, which leads to reason number 2, you might not be ready for marriage. And that's you lack discipline.
And when you lack discipline, a piece of paper won't change that. So if you lack discipline before you get married, meaning you're not upholding the things that you want to do to yourself, i.e., I'm going to work out every Wednesday. Wednesday come and go, and I'm talking about the gym ain't seen you, not never. And I'm just saying, but that's a part of being disciplined,
No doubt,
right?
no doubt.
You say, I'm going to start to eat a little bit more healthy. Not necessarily go vegan, but I'm going to stop eating fast food. I'm going to stop doing takeout. But then your DoorDash be on smash. That is a lack of discipline. Right? Lack of discipline. Yes. So then you get with a woman and you say, I'm going to make this forever commitment to you and be disciplined in life, in love, and in money. And not just that, but then I'm going to make sure that you're going to be my only forever and then forever some more. And then she's like, oh, okay. But guess what? Doctor put me on bed rest and then we just can't have sex for 3 months.
You don't know what to do. You struggling. That's
and you was already
ain't
not disciplined.
Ain't y'all saying last episode, like, what the mouth do?
I mean, that's a conversation.
That's a conversation.
Right? You need to know who you with.
But
love the one you with.
But you got to know who you with too, because what if that's just not enough? What if it's, okay, you bringing me to a certain point, but I need more. I'm trying to get the guts. Like, come on, man.
Which brings us to reason number 3. You might not be ready for marriage, which is you don't know how to effectively communicate your needs. Vulnerably. See, real communication involves vulnerability. Okay. There's 6 layers of emotion. Okay. And when you get through all of it and you want to express your total truth, you have to be able to come down from any anger, any angst, any fear, and get down to what you really love and appreciate and what you really need. Communicate your needs. If you don't know how to effectively communicate your needs, you are not ready for marriage, because what we need changes over time. There's 5 seasons of marriage. Okay. And so if you go into it thinking that what you're going to do in the honeymoon stage is going to work later on in the reciprocity stage, then you're going to have a problem. It's not the same thing. So as you navigate these different seasons of life, you need to be able to communicate the changes you're going through, the perspectives that have shifted. You might have loved barbecue when you first started dating, and now you don't want to eat meat no more. And that's cool, right? But we need to be able to check in. We also need to be able to share regularly about the small things in life. Sometimes we only want to talk about the big things, and that's how we can grow apart. Now I want to know, I need to know what my husband ate today.
Yes.
Like, that's not beneath me. I need to know what's going on with you. What stressed you? Who pissed you off today? I'll be upstairs with my husband and me, and I'll be like, how did that go? Who was that? What was that person's name? I'm interested.
I don't like to talk about stuff, though, just because I do work, right? Just speaking of work, right? So today I had a toilet that cracked upstairs. So, it flooded a little bit, right? I had to do that. Boom. Today I had an employee resign from one of his duties. That's not here, but and so that happened before we teamed up. Or no, you guys were here.
And that was
but I tend to be like, I find a solution. I'm gonna move forward. I got my guy, take care of the toilet. I already have a backup editor or whatever. So then boom. And I need to focus on make sure I have great energy in what we do. So sometimes I don't sit on things too long. I just kind of like, I'm not about to report every problem.
Well, let's reframe that.
Right.
Let's help you today. Let's reframe that, right? Okay. It's not reporting on your problems. It's sharing about what impacts you emotionally. Did it frustrate you? Did it upset you? Did it excite you?
Disappointed me. But other than that, though, it's just like, as an employer in today's weather, I'm starting to weather the storm better.
Yes. Yes. And you want to share that with your partner, though.
Right.
She wants to know that about you.
So can I tell you what I did today, though?
Yes.
I called her and told her that.
See, what that did was you gave her an opportunity to be a part of a different side of you. And then that opens up that conversation. So it's like, now when you say things, because you already spoke about it earlier, she'd be like, you know what? I know exactly what you mean, because it was just like that time. But you know what? I see your growth, and you're doing so great. Now she can encourage you because she actually sees your growth because you let her into that space.
And let's call that what it is. That's experiential intimacy.
Exactly.
You allowed her to be a part of the experience, even though physically she wasn't here. So now y'all are intimate on that level.
I'll go back a little bit, though. A year ago, I wouldn't have done that.
Well, you're growing.
Just
Ain't
because,
no wrong with that.
I'm going to say this very modestly, though, but I deal with a lot of money. And just not in the sense of I'm saying I'm this big wealthy guy, right?
No.
But there's a lot of, the velocity of money's coming through.
Yeah,
there's a store downstairs, online, whatever it may be. And therefore, I don't I'm not very vulnerable about my operations.
Yeah.
When dating somebody.
Yeah.
But we live together now, so it's a little different.
So we beyond that point then.
Yeah.
So
She's pre-qualified.
right, because yeah.
Yeah.
So if you live with someone
to an extent, not to the full degree that you guys have. I'm learning about pre-qualifying.
Well, we're not moving her out at this point, so
y'all committed.
y'all committed.
You committed. Yeah.
Right. We in there now. So yes. But as you continue, because one thing we believe in is grace over guilt. Grace over guilt. So what you didn't know before, you couldn't do. But what you know now, you can be more intentional about putting in place.
Exactly.
And as you two continue to grow and build and form your union even stronger day by day, you'll understand what to share with her and what maybe if you're too hot about it, maybe you're not ready to share it, right? But when you are ready to share it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's how you create a bond that is impenetrable by someone else. If we're here working with you and we know all about that, and then she don't, and then 3 months from now we talking about it and she's present, it's like, ha, remember when that happened? And she's like, no. You don't want your loved one to be outside of the information and understanding. You want to be in.
Gotcha.
And if that's your person, you want them in. You want them to share in those things. That's the point. Is for us to experience and do life together. This is your business is a big part of your life.
I get it.
You better talk about that crack toilet and the drains and everything, the property.
Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming. So sometimes I felt like you don't want to bring that energy into
Who told you that?
Not myself.
Negative self-talk.
Cool out though.
Negative self-talk. Limited thinking. Yes. That's key. And let me tell you why I love it though. Because it's a lot of fellas right now who living right at the same address, okay? That's actually limiting your level of emotional connection with your partner.
Exactly.
And especially in Black men, we see this a lot.
Gotcha.
You can't even tell me a super source where that came from. You just saying that in your head. That don't make it true. So open that. If she has pre-qualified and satisfy your requirements and she might be working with some, then open up to her. I mean, here's the thing. I don't mean to be raw, but this might wrap it up.
That's cool.
If she opens up her legs to you, you don't want to open up your emotions to her?
Why you pointing at me
in
like
that
that?
order?
In that order.
Got you. So.
That was a question mark. You can ponder on that later. He didn't. Did you?
Yes.
Mike, I hate you too, bro.
Yes. Yeah, come on, Mike. Come on.
Hey, dig. What was step number 3?
Communication.
Yes.
Learning to vulnerably. What we talking about now?
Yeah,
vulnerably communicate. And it sounds, I just want to say, when we say communication, people just like, oh, okay, I get it. I talk. Sweetie, loving communication, not using the word should. We mentioned that in another time frame, right? Understanding how to speak from your needs and not talk about what the other person is or is not doing.
Yes.
It's just about what I need.
That's it.
It's not, well, you don't do this, you don't do that. I wish you would do this more. No, I have a need for intimacy.
People deem that stuff selfish in relationships sometimes.
It is very selfish for you to not do it and then judge me and have expectations for me to do something and read your mind.
That's what I was about to ask.
It's quite selfish.
Would it make you more comfortable for me to not be straightforward with you and then hold you to a standard in which you will not be able to meet and then be upset with you and then make it your fault? It's his fault that we in this position in the first place. It's his fault that we not communicating. It's his.
Man, you know why? Because he should know. We've been together this long. He should know. And
he should know me by now.
If he should know and he don't know, then sis, tell him. Tell him. Because then, but let me tell you why she don't want to tell you. She don't want to tell you because then she's responsible for when you don't do it and she don't take action.
Yep.
See, if you don't do it, but I didn't tell you, then it's okay if I stick around because there's always that gray area. But when you get real black and white, I told you this is what I needed. I was very clear. I said I need 3 hugs a week and I need sex 6 times. So if I don't get 3 hugs a week and sex 6 times and we didn't have a conversation, then I know you're not willing to meet my need.
And then
I'm about to go home and say I need sex 3 hugs a week. Like, and or else.
No. Or else.
Wait a minute.
And or else. But it's effective communication. Okay?
No doubt. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all.
Nah, man. It's fun.
Yo, we about to get out of here. But for those that need help in this arena, man, where they tapping in with y'all at?
Hey, straight over to getandstaymarried.com. Getandstaymarried.com. And if you're on IG, you can find us at The Marriage Makeover or Shanoria_the Confident One.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
6 times a week. 6 times. Say what you need.
She said
Say it with your
3
chest.
hugs.
Say what you
And I
chest.
need
I need 3 hugs 6 times a week. Let's tap in.
Well, it's not an ultimatum. It's not
No.
coercion, persuasion, or manipulation. It's just communication of your needs.
It's just a
exclamation mark too.
Either you want to meet my need or you not.
Either, and see, look at that.
Yeah.
It's still your decision.
Yeah, either you want
Either you want to meet
don't.
it or you don't.
And if you don't,
I'm not
and if
saying
you don't,
should.
then
right.
no.
We will.
I mean, I think, and we done.
Hey man, if you need him to level up, send him to getfreerentalproperties.com, man. So that man can start building wealth and investing into y'all real estate, man. Go to getfreerentalproperties.com where I teach people how to find and acquire free rental properties, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. It's going down. We'll be back next week. Peace.